In May 2014, Chinese President Xi Jinping launched the Strike Hard campaign against violent terrorism in Xinjiang, marking the beginning of a new phase of state control in the region. The issue began after multiple small to mid-range terrorist attacks in Beijing, the capital of China. In response, the government launched a re-education program for Uyghurs, claiming it was intended to civilize them and prevent extremism. And that, my friend, is nothing but a lie. The Uyghur community, an Islamic, Turkic-speaking people, their identity formed over generations, through language, through Islam, through music and foods and oral histories that tethered each generation to the last. But history rarely moves in a straight line. The region that is now called Xinjiang has been governed by a succession of powers in the 20th century, an ever-stronger Chinese state. Those shifts transformed social life, economics, and political relations. Interactions between Uyghurs and Han Chinese get rough over time, and in 20th and early 21st centuries the changes accelerated. The Chinese state's priorities shifted toward economic development. But the Uyghur community has always faced discrimination and unequal opportunities at the hands of the Han majority government. If we look carefully, the entire Chinese government is made up of Han ethnic people, from the president to low-level bureaucrats. In reality, Uyghurs are treated as if they were second-class citizens in their own country. The modern chapter that followed is stark and painful. Beginning in the 2010s and intensifying after 2016, there were mass campaigns of surveillance, detention, and ideological re-education directed at Uyghurs and other Turkic Muslim minorities. International investigators, human rights groups, and UN experts documented the existence of so-called re-education facilities. People have been detained without normal legal protections. By credible estimates, hundreds of thousands, and by many counts, more than 1 million. These reports describe forced political indoctrination, restrictions on religious practice. This was not the enforcement of a minor policy. It is cruel and systemic campaign that reshaped daily life. Checkpoints, cameras, smartphone monitoring, DNA and biometric collection, algorithms designed to identify ethnicity and behavior. The consequences were immediate and profound. Children were taught in state curricula that sidelined local language and religious education. Alongside detention and surveillance came economic measures to integrate Uyghur workers into state-managed factories, to tie local economies to larger supply chains. International investigators and watchdogs found evidence, across industries from cotton to aluminum, of forced labor or labor practices that could not be clearly separated from coercive state programs. Some experts say China's low pricing could be a reason for that. Reporting on these realities has been difficult. Limited access for journalists, heavy censorship, online monitoring, and international pressure on critics. Investigators who have pieced together evidence did so using satellite imagery, leaked documents, testimony from survivors who escaped. Beijing's economic and diplomatic influence has grown in many Muslim-majority countries. Governments that might otherwise raise concerns about human rights have been hesitant to criticize China, prioritizing investment and ties over public rebuke.